week and we'll be set to go. So I'm thinking it's about time to get started with the stream here. So
I can't actually connect.
I just try again. I had the same issue. All right, so let's get everybody the documentation here. I'll get a link momentarily, and we'll take a look at that, and we'll jump right into the UI. Let me grab the link. Documents. Preview, and there we go. All right, guys, go ahead and get started here with the documentation, and I will bring the code over to the front page. Now, I'm going to start by saying today, what we've got working, we've got the Pilot Center, we've got the ACARS and the flight tracking page, and we've got your booking and all that. We're going to talk about all the features we've got on the chopping block to do for the development cycle of smartCARS 2.0. We're going to talk about where we're heading with it in the future, but what I'm going to physically show you today is the new UI and the new data flow for a lot of the interface. So, without further ado, let me get that document open on my right monitor here. So we'll jump right off with the new UI. This is the Pilot Center on smartCARS 2.0. So, what we did this time that's different than years past. Oh, and sorry, I did have some actual smooth flight map recording. Well, I'm not sure what you mean by a smooth flight map, because a lot of the ones on the website are that's caused by delay. That's why there's chopping and whatnot. We're working on a map solution. You can see there's a map tab up here on the left. We're going to be connecting that with the API through Mapbox we use for our website and doing a little more with that. And we'll be, taking care of that. And we're going to be doing a lot of plotting, and the map itself will actually show you on the map in relation to other smartCARS pilots. And I can't actually go too much into detail on that yet because we're not entirely sure what's going to be technically possible and feasible at the moment. But we're going to be getting there. Actually, I'll put a link to our current flight map. What we'll be doing with the map in the smartCARS client will be a modified version of this. Yes, and I'll go over that. I'll go down the list of what we have in the document here. And nobody needs to worry about the promoting right now. It's the best bet is to just not send things to people. All right, well, let's go ahead and get him out of the chat here. All right, sorry about that. Guess you can't please everybody, huh? All right, and this is our current flight maps. Anybody that's not familiar with what our current flight tracking looks like, that's where it is if you're flying on smartCARS. Now, we'll start right at the top of the document today. So, let me find it in all of my icons here. Guess I lost it. There it is. All right. So, obviously, this is a developer preview. This is not finished. The animations, the layout of some things, the way we word stuff and work with the form, that may change. What you're seeing here is the UI we're going to be using for smartCARS 2.0 and where we're going to be going from here. The general animations and layout of information will stay the same. So this is a pretty good idea of where we're going to be. Obviously, the UI itself is the most notable change. Now, we've done a couple cool things here. Everything is animated now, unlike smartCARS 1 where it snaps and flickers. When you refresh things, the information that actually refreshes goes away, and otherwise you can continue to use the program while it's performing background activities, whether that means filing your PIREP, doing whatever, flight searches, starting a flight, it's all been redone. And this poses a couple of advantages for us, both in, let's see. Sorry, I'm reading up some stuff here, trying to keep my eyes on the comments while I'm talking. I'm getting a little distracted. But I'm going to get through my whole spiel on the UI, and then I'll answer questions and read through the comments. So that's how we'll do this. I'll do each block at a time, and we'll go over the comments. So what I was saying about the UI, what we're doing a lot now is rather than dumping everything onto one tiny form, as you can see, we've also resized the form considerably. That was something we got a lot of requests about from smartCARS 1.0 or the 1.x series. So 2.0, everything is a lot cleaner. There's a lot more information. It's just a lot more. You see this checkerboard pattern we've got going on here. A lot of our stuff is presented that way now, and we actually can show a lot more information without overloading the user. And yeah, I'll go over my specs and everything at the end here, but that's not as important to the overall presentation at the moment. So this is new UI. Obviously, this is all a custom Windows form, and what we're doing normally, even myself, when I see custom Windows form, I think, oh dear, blocky, chunky, obtuse, and difficult to use. But And we're going with 2.0 right now. What's this, version 2 of smartCARS, the next major release in the list? I saw that as a question. So, current UI, it's all animated. Like I said, it's very smooth. We're going a lot of that. And what we'll be doing, I have something announced at the end of the preview here, and we'll talk a little more about, how we can make sure the UI is all set. So, with that in mind, let's move right along to the next item in the list. And I have like 14 tabs open here. Airline customizations. One of the major things we get asked when we have, I think 75 of the 109 airlines that are now powered by smartCARS must have asked us, what can we change at some point? So rather than just having them request and creating this list and all that, we're actually going to be creating a nice admin backend through our client area. So when you buy a smartCARS license, you'll be able to go in and say, I want these colors, I want this logo to go here. Obviously, our limitations are still going to be a lot of color and VFRE and logging options, but it can be a lot more controllable, and it's all there. You won't have to ask us anymore, and you won't have to wait for us to redeploy it to preview it. You'll go in, I want it blue. You'll click save. Next time you open your smartCARS, it's blue. It can be red. It can be pink. It can be whatever. What? Oh, what? Oh no, I've got as far as the office door comment behind me here, I've got a bunch of books and wires and things for computer repair behind me, so I don't want to show all that off. But anyway, what I was saying about the customizations, though, that, and as we said in the document, I know quite a few of our airlines have had to headset connection issues. A lot of our airlines have had issues with dealing with the ICAOs and the unique identifications for the airlines. There, as you can tell, we've got FDVA, and our launch customer for smartCARS 1 was VDAL because we didn't want to tie up DAL alone. So that limitation is gone in smartCARS 2.0. You can now go through, you can set it to whatever you'd like it to be, and you're all set. And we can have multiple deltas, we can have multiple air hauls, or if air haul is pretty custom, we can have multiple deltas, multiple. All right, let me try this without tying my tongue in a knot. Multiple of any airline. The organization's a lot different. When you're in the chat system, which I won't be showing off today, but we will in a future stream. When you go through the chat system, it'll be a lot more organized. It's going to be tree related. You'll be able to see who flies for what airline. You'll be able to search. Private messages will be a lot more efficient. It's just, we're making a lot of improvements to the overall usability of some of the later developed parts of the program. So that about covers what we're doing with airline customizations. One more thing I want to comment on. The web scripts. Currently, the smartcars.php is, anybody who is web savvy and who's looked at it, it's decently done, but it's very difficult to edit and kind of reverse engineer. We know that a lot of people are using custom systems now, and because of the general availability and the length of time PHP VMS has been available, a lot of customers are making changes to their websites, and they want to see those changes reflected in smartCARS. We've heard them, and we're taking steps now to allow you as a smartCARS license holder or developer to easily hook into our web scripts that control the client in a lot more ways than they used to be able to. All the way down to saying, I want only to allow pilots to fly with this number of passengers. You can specify how many passengers are on each flight. You'll have much greater control of restricting what aircraft, routes, whatnot show up, and depending on what days. You can even see that we show the days airlines schedules are flown now here, and that's all controllable through the web scripts, and there'll be documentation. There'll be a full SDK for creating that. So if you want to create a custom system, no more paying us $40 and waiting 2 weeks to 2 months, whatever we have to do it. No more of that. It'll be real easy, it'll be real straightforward, and it's a nice framework. I'm not going to go too into code jargon. And in-flight entertainment. The thing with in-flight entertainment, right now we're going to be expanding the radio system we've got through Jetstream. The problem with a lot of audio-video in-flight entertainment is availability of resources and the cost involved in doing it. When you want to do these sorts of things legally, there's a cost, and when you're an actual business, that's important. So we'll be looking into different things we can do. Right now, any sort of IFE is actually not on the agenda for right now, but if during the rest of developer preview and throughout the development, that seems to be something we get a lot of requests for, and we can implement it in a way that makes sense, we'll be more than happy to evaluate our options as far as that. Well, we can ask personal questions to me at the end there, Tony Blue. I will definitely save time for questions, and I do appreciate the interest. I'll open up the floor at the end, but I want to get through the document at the moment. So, moving right along after the new customizations. Information display, we talked a bit about already. I'm not going to harp on that too much. Obviously, just everything's a lot better laid out, we think anyway, and that's going to be subject to review from our developer preview. So we'll skip that. Premium. this is the real big thing here for the new smart cards. And as far as premium goes, we'll be ready to go. We should be through the document on the stream here in about 15 to 20 minutes, I'd say. We should be finished with the stream by 12:10. So, and yes, smart cards does currently support X-Plane through the use of XP UIPC on Windows. We have evaluated the option of moving to Mac and Linux-based OSs, but the demand isn't there yet, at least not for the initial release. But it's something we've considered. But currently, it'll support FS 2004, FSX, Prepared, V2, and V1, and and X-Plane 10 and 9. So, as far as premium, and yes, we have testers. We actually do a lot of community feedback for testing, and if you guys will let me get to the end here, we'll talk about the community bit here. So, we'll be doing the charts. It's all right. We're getting. Yeah, I've had enough. Okay. Got a couple of questions here, and rather than just skipping over and ignoring you guys, this is all about community feedback after all. So we'll start with that. The testing the AirCars, yes, we do a lot of community feedback. We're going to be doing the ultimate community feedback at the end of the streams. That's why I'm encouraging everybody to stay around. And Games says, since as an airline owner, no, your cost does not go up. You pay nothing to upgrade to 2.0. We promise lifetime updates, and we live by our promises at this business. So smartCARS 2.0 is a completely free update. It's free for pilots. There is no cost in upgrading at all. Everything we talked about today, the new licensing, the smartCARS premium, the premium itself is optional, and smartCARS licenses, whether we jack the price a little bit at all or not, after the release of 2.0, will not affect existing customers in any way. And as far as the new UI, we do have new features. We're adding some stuff. We're working on, I'll actually reveal one of our extra features. We're working on a fuel planner system, but rather than just implementing somebody else's fuel planner through an extra blocky UI, we're going to be collecting data through flights done with smartCARS over the next couple months while we're doing our previews and while we're doing the full release. So we're going to be working on that, and we'll be creating a fuel planner that actually is much more intuitive and responds to the pilot. We've considered doing things like premium. In the premium, we'll have some other options, but right now I can actually open up my list of things that we've thrown around. And the reason, there's two things. We had an idea for doing a checklists sort of module built into smartCARS, and the problem with that is dealing with availability of information and how we want to store it. Because it's about efficiency, and if we can't implement it properly, we don't spend our time implementing it. So what we're going to do with smartCARS 2, if we can find a way to make some of these requests that you guys are asking. I'm sorry, give me 1 second here. We're getting some questions answered. And yes, we will be recording the stream. So we absolutely will record that, and we might actually stream another day to do further questions toward the end of the developer preview. But as far as what I was saying about, actually I don't even remember what I was saying because I got totally into the answer there. I'll just answer my last question here then. So as far as going up with the price, as a new license owner, as of right now, we're not going to increase the price. The $69.99 will stay the same with smartCARS 2.0, as this is not, yes, there are some serious improvements, but it's the life of development. That's how applications work. Windows 7 costs the same as Windows Vista did when it came out. So, Alright guys, really, with the chat, I don't want to have to ban half of our users, but it is getting annoying. And yes, this will be free for pilots too. The smartCARS 2.0, it's all free. The only thing that's going to be, that's paid if you're buying a new license, or if you opt to go for smartCARS Premium as a pilot, and I'll go over that in detail. But as an airline owner, you will not pay anything to upgrade to smartCARS 2 from 1. No, nothing at all. So I want to make sure that's totally clear, because our goal here is to support our customers. We are where we are because of our customers, and we offer everything new we have to our customers for free because they chose to support us. So that's the policy we go by. And that's actually changed a lot of our decisions regarding the development. That's part of why we took so long to come to a conclusion we liked with smartCARS 2, to make sure everybody worked out for everyone in the end. So the next big thing I really want to talk about before we open up a little more questions here and talk about the previews, is smartCARS Premium. This is something we've considered, and we've done the numbers for it. We've looked at the features, and I think we can do a lot of cool stuff with smartCARS Premium. So, and yes, you will need to buy a new license. Yes, GameSense is right. We'll talk about that a little bit at the end too. We can open it up. So, smartCARS Premium is an optional subscription that a pilot using smartCARS can buy. And this may sound useless at first, and I'll be honest, and I know that, but some of the stuff we're doing with Premium is actually it's geared toward the pilot. We're turning smartCARS into a pilot client and flight assistant as much as we are just booking system. So smartCARS Premium gets you a couple of options. It gets you the option to use our dark UI, which I'll demonstrate here in a minute. Gets you the option to use some of the extra features we're going to add in with possibly radio options and whatnot. But the biggest thing we'll be doing is the use of the mobile app. We'll be releasing smartCARS Mobile for Android, iOS, and Windows Phone and Windows Metro, whatever we call Windows 8 non-professional. And this app will connect to your smartCARS, and you can monitor your flight. You can, if something happens to your flight, and say you walked away from the computer, emergencies come up, you get distracted, your plane's autopilot freaks out and goes 90 degrees off course. smartCARS is going to go, whoa, this isn't normal. It's going to pause your sim and notify your phone. You can customize that ringtone. It can wake you up if you want. It can vibrate and let you know if you're in school. And, as an airline, we know a lot of airlines don't like when their pilots walk away from computers while they're flying. But the issue with this policy is people do it anyway. And that's just the honest truth. So by allowing this lets us keep better track of what's happening while the flight is going on and prevents stupid things from happening because flight sim is a pain in the behind, or you had to walk away for a couple minutes and you can stay ahead of your flight. You'll also receive notifications for new private messages through smartCARS on the phone. You may not be able to reply to them in the initial release of the app, but we're working on that sort of functionality and a lot of interop between the smartCARS desktop client and its full set of features and the one you can walk away with in your hand. And that's really one of the main things we're going for with Premium, extending that functionality beyond what you can physically click when you're sitting in front of your machine. Couple of questions. It will work on iPhone, yes. smartCARS Premium, like I said, it'll be Android, iOS, and Windows Phone, or Metro, whatever. But that's something we'll talk about a little later. We don't have a working concept for it yet. We have all the features laid out. We have the code layout set for it. We'll get that a little later on in smartCARS development. One of the other major features about smartCARS Premium is the flight recovery. We took a step toward, rooting out the sources of some of the lost flights we had in smartCARS 1. We added the auto reconnect issue for people who are using Rex and the sim froze, so if you walk away, your flight doesn't get disconnected. We're taking that 14 steps further with smartCARS 2 to the point that if you have a premium subscription, we will back up a copy of your current flight and ACARS progress to our servers. So if your complete computer totally shuts off and your sim is gone, you can start your computer back up, reopen your flight sim, smartCARS will put your plane back where it was, and it'll restore your flight log. Let me go over some of the questions here in the chat. All right, Corey B., you're going to have to stop pushing the competition right now. I'm sorry about that, but we'll talk about that another time if you feel you need to follow up with us. Redwood VA. In response to Redwood's question, will license holders have the option to pay a subscription to update the client? No. The smartCARS Premium client is going to be $3.99 a month per pilot. And obviously, we have the option you can pay 3, 6, or a year at a time, or 1 month. So buying it for your entire airline, I think I just said buying a subscription for your entire airline at a time would not be cost effective. I suppose it would be possible, but not cost effective. So, sorry, but whoever said they were feeling ignored, I'm sorry about that. Let me take a look back through here and
Also, real quick, GameSense had said or asked if the licensee of smartCARS gets premium for free. That's something we haven't decided yet.
I would lean toward yes at this point.
Yeah.
Just because what it is. Or what we may do is we'll at least offer you a free month, if nothing else. I'd more likely lean toward yes. The owner of the license just paid us $70. I think we can afford to give you an account. So, and that's something because we want people to get used to it. And actually, I will demonstrate the dark UI right now. Oh, my Solution Explorer is gone. Where are we at? Oh, All right. Also, yes, the airline logo. You can change your airline logo, and you can change the icon that appears in the top menu strip or the application bar from the web UI. You will not have to redeploy. You won't have to wait. So, and the content you see, I'll show you in a second here. Let me set the dark UI.
The only thing that will require redeploy is changing the airline name as well as the shortcut icon or the exe icon that you see.
All right. This is our dark UI here. Minimize Visual Studio so you can see it. Still the same UI, but it's darker. And at night, it's actually a lot more pleasant. While I've been working on it, my schedule tends to have me as a midnight warrior for a lot of my coding. And I can't even tell you how much more pleasant it's been to look at this form in the middle of the night, dark, as opposed to having my eyes burned out in the middle of the day. Then next morning comes around and I'm getting kind of bored of this, so I switch it back. It's actually really quite nice. I'm not trying to brag about it, but I've enjoyed it personally, and I think you guys will too. I'm actually going to show you guys the in-flight progress right now, and like how the new ACARS tracking page looks and some of the stuff we're doing with that. And I'll show you a little bit more of the UI we've got going. And yes, you're all going to see the 717 in my aircraft list. No, I cannot show you it right now.
I disappeared again.
Oh, fun. No, I don't think I'll be flying at the moment, but you will get a chance to take a look at some of the aircraft on my list while I pick a suitable selection. I don't want to use the NGX because it takes forever to load. So, no, why would I select the helicopter for an airliner? Just misclicked. Did we even... Has the external model been updated, Brandon? It's in the... No, it's not. Okay.
No, it's still a flying fuselage.
Oh, we might as well. And we're working on doing some revisions to the external model. The cockpit is done, and we're coding the systems now. That's not the concern. We actually have our night lighting will be finished soon, and we can take a look at that. But that's not what the stream is about, so I don't want to go into that. Oh my god, just pick one. There we go. Having a hard time making a decision today, apparently. Let me just get JFK. So I'll show everybody the new process for doing this.
Oh, they're going crazy over my modified FSX UI.
Oh, it is FSX. You can, yeah, Brandon, I'll let you explain all that, actually.
I had been working on a modified version of the FSX UI. Actually, it's not just the bitmaps that are edited, but also the dialogues themselves. There's files in the root directory that you can decompile and tweak the locations of every control on the forms. And yeah, I don't know when I'll release it, but there are a couple problems that I've had to face working on it that I don't know if I'll be able to get fixed, but it'd be nice to release it when it's done, if it gets done. Oh, I guess I'm back now.
Yeah, sorry about that. Alright, waiting on updates here. Alright, so obviously we just a lot of these things are somewhat minor changes, but one of the biggest things we did is obviously flight searches are a lot faster. We've limited some of the results, just improved. Alright, what is going on in the chat? Seriously? Guys, just relax. I'm going to turn off the comments for both of you. If you want to continue to communicate with us, then we need to not be doing this. Yeah, well, I've got a couple of people sending me messages and requesting to have this stream uploaded. We will have this uploaded at youtube.com/TFDi design. So if anybody was unable to come tonight or they want to look over it and review what we did a little bit, then that's fine. I don't know what my simulator is doing at the moment.
Oh, Captain had asked if we're gonna have a free trial for premium.
Yes, especially during the development beta, premium will be available for free to all pilots while we're testing it. And once the firm comes out, we'll do premium trials. Yes, absolutely. We stand by our products, and I can't see anybody not enjoying premium. And I'd much rather you get to try it and see if it works for you than have to spend money you don't end up getting the benefit out of. So, all right, me just bid on a flight here, and this is going to be the new UI for, obviously starting a flight is fairly simple, but everything, blah, blah. This is our new UI for this. Obviously, we keep some of the same functionality we used to have, but the thing I wanted to show that we've done too, just a little bit, we've done a lot of custom work with the interface and whatnot, and done a little improvement. We've done actually some serious improvements in the VFRE as far as just cleaning up the output a bit and whatnot. This is our new little message box system, and this, if you've walked away from your computer, this will automatically attempt to reconnect you. So this is actually, I mean, obviously if you say no, it'll stop, but we've done a little more to help prevent loss of data and to clean it up. But that'll conclude what I'm actually here to talk about as far as smartCARS itself. So I'll leave the UI here in the background, and we can go over some questions here. Let me take a look.
Flight guy, smartCARS 2 gets deployed per airline. So while the same program essentially is used for all airlines, you log into your airline with the program, and it's your airline's program. So
let me actually disable my auto login, and I'll show you the login form here, so we can take a look at that, because that is a very good question. As of right now, everything is done online for us though. So all the changes, except for changing the desktop icon and the name, it's instant. But here, let me set it and I'll show you. This is part of the reason we're so excited about this too, is if you have a holiday event going on, you want something to show up, you just change your logo, it shows up. No longer is it a major change. Can't remember which one I named what anymore, so I've got smartcars.2.login and smartcars.config and smartcars.2.config. So let me, yes, cancel my flights. Okay, this is what our login form looks like. Oh, what happened to the logo? Did we download the wrong logo earlier? Well, alright, point being, this is a logo. I've changed the name. I had to rename the logo, or if you give me 30 seconds here, I can demonstrate that for you.
George, smartCARS 2 will most likely cost the same as smartCARS 1, which is $69.99. I just saw since the stream is behind it, I'm viewing it on my screen, I just saw the improper logo.
There we go. This is how the login form will look for airlines, and obviously they can replace the smart cards here, and the text at the top, this here, all that can change. And actually, Brandon, if you want to specify a color real quick, we can. If you send it to me on Skype, I'll change the color scheme. We can demonstrate quite how easy it is to do this.
Sure, one moment.
I can tell you, we're really excited about the amount of options we have. So, and I'll show you, we're gonna switch this from blue right now. And the other cool thing is you see some of the effects here in the header bar, and there's gradients in the form and whatnot, and that's all gonna stay there. That's not, you won't have to supply that. We'll give you all those, and you can just tell us what colors you like.
There, I've sent it. We're gonna set it to a nice green.
Now, flight guy, we will not be advertising brutally to your pilots. No, everything is free. smartCARS is free to use. You get more features than you used to have for free already. If they want to, they can purchase the premium option, but it's not going to be crammed down their throat, and it's not going to be required. And you'll have the option. Everybody will be able to see how we're going to present smartCARS. Let me see. Tony Blue, I'm sorry about that. If you have 30 seconds, I can answer for you before you go, because I did say I'd give you an answer. But as far as premium options, like I said, we're not going to be cramming it down your pilots' throats. That's not our goal here. I'm going to wait on some of the comments here and the color scheme from Brandon.
I sent it.
Oh, you did? I'm on Do Not Disturb right now. To the latest comment, would you consider a bulk premium option? Yes. Yes, every airline will have the option to upgrade. We're going to offer a grace period. At some point, we will stop support for smartCARS 1.0 or 1.x, but there'll be a concurrent period to allow us to work with airlines, and during the development, we'll probably save 6 months or so. That's subject to change, obviously, but our goal here is we're going to get everybody on board. So, as far as the bulk option for premium, yes, the airline will have the option to secure a number of licenses for premium to hand out to their pilots at a discounted rate. what rate, how many, how that's going to work, that'll be a little bit. Oh, yes, good question. Yes, we have a little more control over that. Chat management. Thank you so much for reminding me about this. The chat, we have completely redone the chat. It supports foreign characters. There's gonna be right-click menus. Airlines will have the option to manage their own pilots in their chat. Yes, the chat is going to be completely overhauled at this point. The chat honestly was one of those features in the beginning that we thought would be cool. None of us realized the ridiculous amount of power and the sheer number of people that we're going to be using it. I mean, we've got 150 people online most of the time, and none of us ever even thought about that. And yes, actually, that's another thing we're doing. Again, thank you for reminding me. The installers have been today. We actually finished the plans for this today. We'll be completely redoing the installers from scratch, and the sound packs will no longer be downloaded every time. You can, as an airline, you can supply your own to our website and have it updated with the client. So if you say, I made a change, I want this file downloaded, you can do that, and that's fine. But there's no more 50 megabytes per update anymore. Absolutely not. It'll be about 2 megabytes, maybe 3. So.
We'll be doing our own custom installer rather than using Install Shield.
It'll be quicker too. It'll be quicker, smaller download, and a lot more efficient and effective. So, and yes, I think we can. Let me actually see here. Yeah, I have to open a private tab with you. But yes.
I think, does he mean on smartCARS chat or on Twitch?
Do we think the release will be before January 1st, 2015? I would say confidently yes. Yeah, I can't give you an exact date, but we have gotten this to the point, and we're about to talk about the reavailability here, and I would say before the end of this year, absolutely. I would be upset if it wasn't. I'm actually going to respond and text to that one just to make sure he sees it. Yes, that's the other thing. With the new system and the better sound pack management, yes, you'll be able to provide multi-sound packs. The only thing is size is a concern there. So if each sound pack is 50 or 60 megabytes, we're not going to have a 400 megabyte installer. That's insane. So as long as it falls within reasonable limits, and we'll work with that to help bring the size down even more, and we'll get many in there. Yes. Let me look at Redwood's question. I've seen that issue. That's Install Shield. That's not us. If you manually go to the program and double click it, it won't do it. It's only the start menu icon. One more reason we can't wait to get away from Install Shield. Yeah, the current update system, it works for most people most of the time. We really want to increase that to everybody almost all the time. Obviously, nothing's ever perfect, but Install Shield really has given us more headache, I think, all by itself than the rest of the program. So we're going to be looking forward to getting rid of Install Shield as quick as humanly possible. The first installer we ship with smartCARS 2 will be ours. So without further ado, everybody who's here today, you all can get early access to smartCARS 2 to fly it and use it and start getting updates and information. And yes, as far as what I've seen in the chat, I'm bothered by it too, but I'm not going to interrupt the stream every time something stupid happens. So as far as that goes, anyway, I'm going to put a link here in the chat for everyone, and if you all register on this PHP VMS installation, obviously it's subject to review, but we'll take a look, and you'll all get a login and a download. You can actually take a look at smartCARS 2 for yourselves, and we'll start doing feedback. This is our official developer preview. This will not be an unlimited amount of time, but anyone who's in the developer preview who contributes will have guaranteed access to the beta. So I do encourage everybody to go get signed up. Just come to this here and register. I'll actually put the links directly to the registration, and we'll be doing that tonight, and we'll be starting to hand out executables tonight, and it's going to be exciting because we want to see what you guys think. We want to see how you feel using the UI and all of that, and that's where we're headed. So as far as that goes, and we got one more question here. Let me take a look. Well, everything about smartCARS is just cloud. We've got hundreds of dollars of resources pushing the premium servers, the backup servers, our web servers, the flights, the maps, everything. So as an airline, you're literally going to just click buy, and upload your stuff, and you'll get a link, and that's all done. The chat, everything, you'll have complete control, but you don't have to do any of the headache. So, actually, not sure. I'm not sure if I answered your question. I may not have. So if I didn't, please let me know, and I'll try to figure out what I'm doing here.
Someone told me my mic is echoing. Is anyone else experiencing that?
Let's give everybody a second here.
Yeah.
I haven't actually I haven't had any issues with the echoing. And like I said, the one issue is echoing because of my feedback through my headset, but I've had it muted the whole time. So
Well, it sounds like it's just mine that's echoing. Unless I'm wrong. That's what I was told. Let's see. Is the link to the chat?
oh um oh, you mean like you mean on our end as far as hosting the websites themselves? We don't host smartCARS licensing servers on the same servers as our hosting servers. No. Yes. And yes, it will work with non-PHP VMS. That's one of the main things we're going for with the better framework for the PHP is that converting it is going to be a lot quicker and easier. And it'll be a lot easier to understand for people who aren't us, essentially, who aren't the original developers. We're going a lot more toward expanding it and doing whatever needs to be done as opposed to what's possible right now.
Do we log in with emails or call signs? Actually, no, you can still log in, or we can log in with both still. In fact, call in if you remove your email address there in the box, they can see what it says or what it does when the text box is empty. So I think I missed a question up here. George, I think you're asking, can you have a preview screenshot when you click on a link in the smartCARS chat? That would be, I think that would be pretty hard to do. I don't know. Colin has any feedback on that?
No, I don't think that'd be possible. What we are going to do though is I think we're going to implement a system to. Oh yes, actually the question we just got through, and I have two things I'm going to say now. We're going to implement a system that when you click a link to the smartCARS chat, it's going to say, hey, we're trying to take you to this address, blah blah blah. This is not officially TFDi, or and it'll be a little more clear, and you'll have a chance to preview it before you accidentally misclick and get put into a link you don't want. So that's the best we can do as far as that goes. And as far as the setting up to a different server, that's something else we're going to be doing. Right now, it's set to, it's going to be premium only. Well, actually, no. Here's what's going to happen. And as a pilot, every flight you do will be submitted also to TFDi Design's backup servers. Meaning, if the airline server gets corrupt, if it gets destroyed, if their server goes down or something, we have a copy of all those flights done with smartCARS. And obviously, having all those copies means that if a flight's missed or it's down, we can evaluate that option as having it back up and sending it to the airline. Absolutely. So that's something we can do. Let's see. And yes, we have. I mean, we're both business owners here, Brandon and I, and we have no issue dealing. We know how money works and how the cost is to a pilot, to an airline. So we'll work out deals and licensing and whatnot with various VAs and standard policies for dealing with resales and collecting funds on it. Right now, I would say we would lean much more toward the lenient side, toward allowing you to do more rather than less. I can't say exactly what or how yet because that's going to take us some time deliberating between both the two of us and our financial staff and community feedback team. So there's going to be more to it than just that. But Diversions. This is an interesting question. I thought about doing this, and this is something I'm going to get on the chopping block here. We can see my little smartCARS 1.5 plan here, where we've announced our features. So let me actually take a look at that. I do want to add some kind of a diversion system, because I know we've had issues with that. Currently, diversions, it will detect that you've gone to a different airport, but it's not going to say where or why, and you can't state that. We may change that, honestly. So that's something I'm going to look into. I can't confirm or deny it yet. But it is in the notes now. So as far as voice chat, it's distinctly possible. We have the technology. We've actually implemented voice chat into other things we've done outside of smartCARS. Whether or not we can actually do that effectively in smartCARS right now, I can tell you it will not ship with the smartCARS 2.0, public release, but it is something we have in the chopping block, and it's where we're going in the future. We want to create a one-stop shop solution for virtual airlines, where all they need for their VA is smartCARS, and they all interconnect, and they're all together, and they're all part of the one big smartCARS community. Now, I can't show an example of the map quite yet because we haven't gotten to that stage of the module development, because we have to do some consideration as far as where we're going with what map we're using and how we're going to be showing it. I can tell you it's going to be very interactive. It will be similar to the one on the website, yes, but it'll show where you are differently, and there'll be a little more information. We're going to do a lot of cleaning up and optimizing of that system. That feels a little thrown together to me right now. As far as an API, this is actually something, when we had originally put the smartCARS project together, we did a totally different layout and a different UI then, and we had it done where you could create your own C++ driven modules. And the thing is, we decided not to go with that route due to A, the difficulty of the development for a module developer, and B, just due to the low demand for that. Add-on requests, as always, if they're good requests, send them to us, we'll review them. If they're possible, we'll put them in. We're going to try to start being a little more understanding when it comes to requests to see what we can get done. Because obviously, this is going to be the future for a lot of VAs. So we're going to start taking a lot of responsibility with implementing these new features. But they're directly as an API, no. They will not be an open available module API. Not at this point in time anyway. As in response to, I can't tell if you're half kidding or not, but the goal with smartCARS is to make flying easier and happier. So yes, I guess in short, yes, it'll catch mistakes by pilots and it'll help them stay active more if it's a fun interface and does a lot for them. Jetstream radio, yes, we're going to be overhauling the radio. No more weird little slider, no more weird little menu buttons for volume, no more squish into the bottom left. It'll still be on that bottom bar, but we're now going to have a now playing. We're going to have an interactive radio system, which is a little more controllable. And like I said, you'll be able to see what songs are playing on the radio and whatnot. It's going to be a lot more, I think, complete than it used to be. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you guys are excited. Does anybody else have any questions right now? Because the floor is totally open. And to Jordan, yes, right now I can't give you an exact day, but we're looking at sometime this year, before the 1st of January. Whether that's December 1st or November 15th, I couldn't tell you, but we're getting close to release. This is not an indefinite future project, as you can see. We're already at a fair distance. So, let me see, get through the last couple of questions. Oh, all right. Let me get through a couple of these here. Jetstream Radio. I'm not actually. I work with Jetstream Radio. I supplied a lot of the coding for their website, and I do some of the ancillary technology work for them. But I'm actually not an official station manager or company director at all at Jetstream. So I can send you, if you guys email them at this address, you guys can get a hold of the Jetstream Radio team. And to Captain Price, the essence of this program, in a sentence, it is a pilot client for virtual airlines that makes flying easier, more fun, and more connected. In essence, it connects the virtual airline to the pilot's desktop with one easy-to-use program. So, and as the glitches with the drop-down, to be honest with you, to Redwood, I've had issues with that personally, going all the way back to programs well, that wasn't a sentence. You're right. I'm sorry, but shortly. It was concise at least. Oh, in more depth. Okay. Give me 1 second. I will come back to that. Let me answer Redwood question first. As far as dealing with that glitch, that's honestly just an issue with the way the DirectX rendering is done through Flight Sim with the WM or the Windows Desktop Manager, WDM, DWM, Desktop Window Manager, yeah, over the top of it. I've had issues with that dating back to other programs all the way back to, what is it, 2009, 2008. So I can't honestly say, yes, I can fix that because I don't even think that's smartCARS. If it is, we'll look into it. I will revise it and I shall add it to my list of notes. You can see me do that so you know I'm not just giving you a yes man answer. And we'll take a look at that. This is actually the internal direct notes. Yes. And Corey B. Yeah, I've had a lot of issues with it. Yeah, we do the best we can. All right, and as far as coming on TeamSpeak, yes, you're all welcome to come on TeamSpeak. We're in the TFDi channel right now. Anybody that wants to talk to us, I'll put that information here in the chat one more time, and you're all welcome to come in and talk. It's like Brandon just switched back to a Skype icon here.
Good. And George, you're asking about making your FSX look like Collins. I imagine you're referring to the UI that we saw earlier. That is a user interface that I'm working on. It's not finished yet, but I may finish eventually, and if I do, I will release it. But that depends on free time from other project or based on how other projects go, if I have free time or not on that.
Really, I cannot make this go away. Okay, well, let's see here. Premium, the security system. All of the session information for the passwords, anything like that. Obviously, passwords right now, virtual airline servers don't have a lot of the security in place to do anything serious with that. We safely send your password to the server once. Once it's to the server, we never send it again. And any third parties, unless obviously your VA has access to the database, but third-party code will not have access to it. And once we've authenticated you successfully once, we use a session ID that doesn't contain any personal information. The same system will work even more secure through Premium. You'll actually purchase Premium from our website, which is all SSL. It's all encrypted. It's all safe. Your financial information never actually goes to the smartCARS client and never comes across our network at all. You'll log in once. It'll check your password once safely and encrypted, and never send it again, and that's the end of it. So let me look here. Bus driver 320. Honestly, we call that the VFRE. I can actually show the code for this. This is our flight tracking that does all of our detecting different information and bounces and whatnot. So when you hear us talking about the VFRE, this is what we mean. It's about, 2,000 lines of code, 1,200 lines, 1,700, something like that. We want to improve the VFRE. If you guys think about stuff like that, tell us, please, let us know. Tell us different things you'd like to see, how, why. Some of the stuff we haven't added is either because it doesn't work with add-ons, lights, for example. Most of the lights simulation is different for every add-on, and it's a waste of time to even attempt to process it because it's wrong for 30-40% of planes or more. Radios, we had an issue at one point with the PMDG 777 and an auto-tune. I think it actually might have been the 747. This might have been back before the 777. But it was auto-tuning the radio. We get a message in the chat every 10 seconds, or in the log every 10 seconds, radio set to whatever. These are sorts of things that if the demand to have them there is there, we will work on them. And we'd love to expand the VFRE. So please send us your requests, put them on our forums, send us to us via email, whatever, and we will work on it. As far as altitudes of different parts of the flight, yes, any good ideas? That's the thing. This is a community-driven project in a lot of ways. I mean, it started actually as a private effort for one virtual airline, and expanded to where we are now. I mean, we're doing a live stream as a major software provider for VAs. So, and we got here because of community feedback. So let us know. Absolutely, we want to expand. And thank you for the compliment as far as it moving toward being the best. We appreciate that. Captain Leonard. Um, I don't remember your question. Screenshots. This is something I'd like to be able to do. The formatting and the bandwidth conservation is something to consider and how we want to do that, but we will take a look. Screenshots, let me actually add that to my list of notes for things to do on the end of development here, because I think that's a really exciting idea. Take a nice picture of your flight on the way and say, hey, look at this, guys, and you one click to the chat. Yeah, and as far as promoting Delta, no, I didn't get the impression you're promoting at all. And I appreciate you telling me and us and the rest of everybody here what you think, and we want to work on it. So absolutely, and I appreciate your feedback a lot. So, and as far as appreciate the service, and thank you. Let me get this on my list here. Notes client, chat system to include screenshots. All right. So let's see. To respond to the premium ideas, thank you. We appreciate the compliment. And honestly, it's been a combination of just throughout the development, different things we've worked on that seemed like a good idea, and we both went, well, hey, that'd be really helpful, but they're not really necessary for the ACARS. So it's rather than jacking the price for virtual airline owners to buy things they don't necessarily want, or forcing the pilot on things they don't always want to spend money on, we figured we'll offer it for people who want it. And those ideas are like that. And some of them are community driven too. Some of them are things that people said, hey, we want this, but it doesn't really fit for a license for an airline, but for a pilot client, it makes sense. So we added it as a premium option instead. As far as P3D support, yes, we will support P3D V1 and 2 with release. Absolutely. As previously stated, Windows only. It's a Windows program at the moment, but. I said, everybody, don't forget, we can take a look. If you go to phpvms.tfdidesign.com here, you can actually sign up with an account there, and right now we'll be taking most of the registrations. You can get your hands on a copy of the current smartCARS 2 UI. Take a look with it. You can do flights, you can submit PIREPs and all that. So that's where we're going to go with that. I should put that in the chat. I'm going to say we'll probably try to wrap up here within the next 10 minutes. We'll take the last couple questions, and then anybody is welcome to join us on the TeamSpeak. If you're having issues connecting so far, it's been mostly just retry, and it seems to work. So if you're still having issues, you feel free to message us now. Let us know. Message the TFDi Facebook page, send us an email, whatever. Obviously, we're both here and on call at the moment, so we'll be here to respond to you. We'd love to reach out and get in touch as much as humanly possible at the moment. I mean, I've already got 8 emails on my phone since we've been doing this, but you're getting it. They're all followers. So I appreciate the support, guys. We really do. We're really excited to be doing this, and I'm very excited to be able to show this off to everybody. We've been working on this for a while, and it's been a lot of talks, and a lot of the feedback we've gotten so far, and some of the ideas, they're so exciting. Right now, we're in the TFDi channel at the bottom of the server. We're in the team. I see 2 people in there right now. We will hop down into that channel in about, as soon as the stream's over. I should put that on the message here in the TeamSpeak. Of course, I just misspelled the word channel. Dropped it in. At least I knew it was wrong. So at this point, does anybody have any extra questions or anything they'd like to say? Yeah, currently there's 2 people in the TFDi. We have Matt Miller and Joshua M, and under them are Brandon Filer and Colin Biedencap, which is me. We'll all be in there in a little while, and as soon as the stream's open, we'll start some extra discussions there, and we can talk a little more off the record and answer any additional questions that we'd rather not deal with a 30-second delay on. All right. Let's see. Text to speech. Text to speech sound packs. Yes, it's doable, but in all honesty, the "Hello, I am Microsoft Sam" doesn't really excite me personally, and I don't think a lot of pilots would opt for that. And because of the feedback for it, I don't think it'd be something we'd be doing. If we end up hearing that it's something people want and it works out, or we can find something like the Google text-to-speech engine, if it works on PC, I've never looked into it, I don't know. If we can find something that's less generic and kind of scary sounding, then we definitely something we would want to look into, because I think that'd be a really awesome idea. So actually, I'll add that to my list of things to look into also. All right, it's in. I think we've got. Oh, we are?
Oh,
Hmm.
how did I do this? Yeah, the document, since they were kind of like subsections under, um, oh, well, I didn't even title that section. Whoops. There should be another section under overview, but the all caps titles are just subsections of what's supposed to be a major section, but I forgot the title of that section. Thanks for pointing it out, though. I will go fix that.
Now, to everybody that signed up tonight, we're going to be distributing the developer preview copies of smartCARS this evening. So definitely not a problem at all there. We're a little bit behind, obviously, right now because we're in the middle of the live stream. I don't want to stop the stream to get them sent out. So immediately following the stream, we'll start with the distribution of those. Sure. We can take a couple open questions, absolutely. To be honest with you, I've been in the software creation world since I was a little kid. I started tweaking stuff when I was really young, and a couple of years back, I was working for a computer repair store that gave me an access to MSDN. So I downloaded Visual Studio. I was like, oh, this is cool. I see how code works. And I learned VB, and I went from there, and I switched from VB to C Sharp, and I liked it, and I got the syntax, and at some point I bit off C++ and just learned that, and I've moved on. I play with assembly and Java and most of the major languages, and I stick with C++. But as far as proficiency, it's just picking a project. And a lot of the reason that we've changed so much in smartCARS 1 to 2 is it's a couple of years later, and we've both picked up a lot of skills in our trade and on the job that we've done that. And that's what it is. And just pick a project and go with it, and it's just practice, practice, practice. As far as where we're streaming, I'm streaming from the East Coast right now. I'm in Spring Hill, Florida.
And I'm over in Escondido, California, which it's not a very well-known town, but it's inland from San Diego.
And I think that's cool too. Here we are doing a stream side by side, 3,000 miles apart. I mean, if it seems like I'm staring off into the distance, I have my comments open on the right side, so that's why. Alrighty, guys. Well, it's about 12:15, and I know those of you on the East Coast, you're going out of your way to stay up for us here. Sorry about the late timing. We'll definitely have more than one stream to interact with everybody and kind of get a feel for the community response and get some feedback. So if you missed this one, it's going to be on YouTube. If you've got buddies and pilots who want to see it, we're going to have it on YouTube. The next stream we're going to try to plan a bit earlier in the day just for availability purposes. But thank you everybody for coming so far. And like I said, we're going to be on TeamSpeak for quite a while. So if you're looking to get a hold of us, absolutely stop by and we'll take some more questions. And immediately following the live stream, you're all going to start getting your emails to the developer preview copy of smartCARS 2. So I'll give it about another 30 seconds, just make sure there's no last minute questions or comments. But as of right now, I'm going to call that complete. And thank you for everybody in the chat for all the compliments today. We really do appreciate the feedback. It honestly, as much as we all love to make a living, knowing that people enjoy what we do and that they're on our side and that we all get each other, that feels better to us than big bank accounts. Not that none of us are getting rich off of smartCARS, but the feedback and the feeling of doing the right thing and doing a job well that we get from the feedback you guys give us, it just makes our days. So thank you everybody for coming tonight. We appreciate the support. And I do want to say this while everybody's still here. We had a comment earlier, and I want to address this. Buddies of ours have worked with FS Pause. They have similar functionality to the system we're doing with the remote flight monitoring. We're going to be talking with them. Our intention was not to step on their toes, and it was not to crush their product line. We haven't had a chance to directly speak with them yet, but we'll be doing with that. And I just don't want to. I know some of them are still in the chat right now, and I want them to hear me say it to the customer base. I'm not trying to steal their company and their business. So, and as far as supporting our community, the community, you guys are our customers. We are part of the community. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a 35-year-old Microsoft support technician. I went in this community, so that's what it is. All right, guys. Well, I saw a bunch of our users drop off, and we're about ready to wrap it up here. So that's going to be the end. Once again, thanks everybody for coming out tonight. And I really appreciate the support, and I know Brandon does too. And if you have any emails, hit us up at support@tfdidesign.com or admin@tfdidesign.com. Give us a call if you want, 1-800-359-6501, 1-800-FLY-6501. So as of right now, we're going to call that quits. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for watching.